All right, we're back on the podcast, and I'm excited for this episode because I've been looking forward to having this guy on. He is a star in the making in the music industry. Um, I can't say enough about this guy with how much talent he has. Coobie, welcome onto the podcast.
How's it going? Thanks for having
Yeah,
me.
man. How's things in Canada?
It's nice. It's storming like I was saying, it's storming here, but so far so good. Like I'm trying to actually musically wise, I'm trying to kind of lead towards the more Canada route. So that's pretty much what I'm working on right now, just Canada connections, but yeah, it's going good.
Yeah, that's cool. So, what part of Canada are you exactly in? Are you near Toronto?
Yeah, so I'm in Ontario. I'm about 3 hours away from Toronto. So three
Okay,
hours, yeah.
nice. You a big hockey guy?
I grew up playing hockey.
There. Oh
I,
yeah.
I honestly I don't watch it a whole lot to be honest with you, but I loved it growing up and yeah, it was definitely like my favorite sport. But yeah, I never really watch much sports to be honest.
All good. Well, I mean, let's. You found your passion in what you're doing in music, and as you know, I've been connected with Luya, and we'll get right into that. But you obviously know him. You've done some music with him already. I want to
Yeah.
start out by just asking, at what age and when did you start knowing when you were going to be like an artist in music and all that?
So I started singing when I was like I actually started with drums when I was about 10.
Okay.
Um I I just found a drum kit at my parents' friend's house and I kind of just sat down and naturally had a beat. So my dad was like, we should get him drums for his birthday. And so yeah, when I was 10, I started playing drums. Um, and then probably the next year, I started playing guitar and I was getting guitar lessons. And then I basically just started singing while playing guitar. And that at that time, like Justin Bieber was blowing up and all of that. So you kind of want to be like Bieber, right? So I just started singing like Justin Bieber songs and stuff like that. My dad was like, "Wow, like you're pretty good, like naturally, right?" And then so from probably like 11 or 12 till high school, I was singing a lot and playing guitar a lot. And then during high school, I actually got out of it for a bit because I was a little embarrassed, to be honest with you. Um, and I also just started like doing typical high school stuff. Like I got new friend groups, and I also had a girlfriend that I took pretty serious in high school.
Oh my.
So then after high school, everything kind of changes when you come out of high school, and I think I just wanted to look for something that I could like express myself with. So music became that, and for a while there, I kind of got off track. I was doing like melodic rapping. I don't know why, because like I said, I grew up singing and playing guitar, right? And then I kind of got back on track. I found myself in the last like year, really, I've been doing pop a lot more serious, and I think it's paying off. So yeah,
Hey, it's funny because I talked to Lou and he goes, I was a metalhead before I even considered going into like some type of pop genre, you know?
yeah,
So you just don't
yeah,
know. You don't know where you'll land. But the good thing is, you have a gift. And
yeah.
even your dad saw that. So Biebs was the guy that you looked up to as a kid. Were there any other artists that you kind of were watching? You're like, damn, I'd love to be him.
Definitely Sean when Sean started taking off as well too,
Shawn
which is
Mendes.
actually it's actually crazy. This is a real story. Like I have an email. Shawn Mendes manager actually messaged like emailed me because I was doing YouTube coverage when I was that young, when I was like 11 or 12, and I had a few like get like over 100,000 views, and so I was starting to see some numbers. And his manager actually emailed us before Shawn Mendes is a thing, and my dad basically came up to me and he said, "Listen, this guy like wants to work with you. He thinks he could really take you to the next level, but what do you want to do?" And me being like an 11, 12-year old kid, I actually I kind of remember I was like crying, and I basically just wanted to live a kid life. I wasn't ready to take on a full-time job, basically, you know what I mean? um so that was kind of a crazy story, but then after seeing Shawn Mendes coming up, he definitely still became an inspiration for me. I wouldn't say I had the love for it as much back then as I do now. Like, so that was why I didn't really go through with that. But
Yeah, no doubt. That's wild. I didn't know that.
yeah,
See, yeah, that's a cool backstory on how that happened. And
yeah,
as a kid, you don't really know. You know, I feel like these artists as kids, they're like they kind of leave it up to their parents to decide, should we do it? Because you're just so
yeah.
young to make that
My
decision,
dad,
right?
my dad really could have been like, "Hey, you're doing this, and you're gonna come do this and this." But yeah, he asked me, and I was a kid, so I didn't want to take on responsibility. You know what I mean? But I really had no idea what was even what would have happened. Like to me, it was just like I'd rather go play with my friends and do whatever. You know what I mean?
And
I look back some days and I'm like, damn, that kind of sucks. But I also look at it like I think I can get there again. So
I
um,
think you can too. I believe in you. I've heard all your music. I've talked to Lou a lot, and I believe that there's no expiration on that. I think you still can go to where you be.
thank
And as a kid though, like you want to just have a normal life as a kid instead
yeah,
of being in the spotlight right away. That's
exactly.
overwhelming.
Yeah, for sure. I would have been probably a completely different person if I did live that way. And I also have an identical twin brother, and so me and him were singing together on YouTube, and then he he really didn't like it as much, but I had a lot of fun doing it. I just didn't
Yeah.
love it to the point where I wanted to like do it full time. But so I kept going, but that would have been another thing, right? Like if I just left and now I'm doing this big career, I was like attached by the hip growing up with my twin brother, so that would have been a big change as well. But yeah,
Wow. Wow, that's awesome. You don't hear that often. Twin brother, both doing the
yeah.
same thing. What's he doing now?
Now, so he actually went to school, and he graduated as an instrumentation. Like it's like not like music instrumentation.
Uh-huh.
It's like in oil refineries and stuff like
Okay.
that. But it's a solid job, and he's pretty happy. He's got a girlfriend and all that. So
Good for
yeah,
him. As long as he's
yeah,
happy, that's all that matters, right?
yeah, for
You know,
sure.
one thing I want to bring up, you being the pop guy you are, you know, with your music and lyrics, it's something special because I think a lot of artists, the average artist doesn't really relate and express their feelings and emotions through their music, and you really do. So, what does it mean to you to be vulnerable and to connect with all sorts of people that listen to you?
I think that's everything. Honestly, like that's definitely how all of this started. Like I said, it was just kind of something to get everything out. You know what I mean? And so I've been there, and when I see my music can help people in that way, it definitely it means a lot to me. And that's really just like I have a very hard time. Like I could write something that is actually serious to me and I've been through in like an hour, right? But if I want to write something that say like is just a pop hit summer song and I'm really not in that mood, it would take me a lot longer and to me it's just not going to be as good of a song either. So yeah, that's that's definitely why I do that. And
That's
yeah,
beautiful. That's beautiful, man. Um, you know, from what I see too is with your lyrics, people like I said relate to relationships and
yeah,
relationships that you've been through, good and bad, the ups and downs.
for
You know,
sure.
how has that been for you to relate with other people that have been through some tough shit through relationships?
It's pretty crazy, man. Honestly, sometimes like I want to be there for all of them, obviously, but it's pretty hard. And sometimes like they'll tell you your life story, and like you definitely want like you want to comfort them, but you only can so much because like you're busy, right? You like I'm busy, and there's a couple people like there's a lot of people that will reach out. So the reality is you can't be there for everyone, but it's pretty crazy hearing some of the stories and just the connection they have with the music. It really is crazy.
I think a lot of people go through like anxiety and depression through the stuff that they've been through. And if they listen to a song that you've made that's like touching, it can be very impactful. I think that's probably one of the most beautiful things when they come back to you and they're like, hey, like you made me feel something,
That's definitely the best comments, yeah, I can
right?
get for sure. Yeah.
No doubt. You know, one thing that's made a huge impact with you, and I think many artists, is social media platforms, and one of them being TikTok.
Yeah.
Luya's, he's had two songs already been viral because of that, and I think it's the thing to do to get noticed and to grow an audience. How's that been for you? How much of an impact has it been for you?
It's been pretty well everything for my career so far. The last year, probably about a year, coming up on a year now. I've been going hard on it. Like, I try to get right now like at least two posts a day. It started with one a day, but the algorithm is getting like so many people on it that you got to start getting more and more. So really, you should be shooting for like 2 to 3 a day. But yeah, man, like it's been everything. My numbers have only gone up since I started using TikTok like a lot, especially with dancing. Dancing had a few videos kind of take off there, so it it's crazy. It really is running the industry, and I think it's kind of changing the whole game right now.
Right.
Some days it's kind of a bummer. Like some days you don't always want to wake up and make content, right? But you basically got to do that until you're big enough where you can go on tour and do other things like that. So
No doubt. It's a big deal. And for you, you've released like some of these TikTok people, they release one song. Lou and I talked about it, and then they don't have albums or other songs that they have, and then they get signed. But for you guys have all these songs you've released already, and you have more coming. So which song for you is like your favorite that you've made, and which one like hits home for you?
right now it's my next song. I've been I have posted it a few times on TikTok. It's called All That We Are. But the production isn't done, so I'm not gonna. I've decided to stop posting about it until it's actually done because people are just like, when is this dropping, and like, where's the pre-save link and stuff like that. So, there's really no point in me promoting it until I have all of that. So, but that's probably my favorite song. My second favorite would have to be Dancing for sure. I really feel like I'm in the last like 2 3 songs. I've really just been starting to find my like that true pop sound, and I have a lot of songs too that I haven't even recorded yet. Just picking up a guitar and playing. So I'm really excited to show everyone my next stuff. But yeah, All That We Are, my next song, I think will be my best song yet. So
I love it, man. I love it. I can't wait for that to come out for many people to hear it. What from what people have told you and talked to you about, and being identical to another artist, maybe, which artist has people like compared you to? Just curious.
in the past, definitely with dancing like Kid Leroy. Um, I really think with my new music that won't happen as much. I think I have a similar tone to Kid Leroy for sure. And I love Kid Leroy's music. He's amazing, but I never went into making music like with the mindset that I'm gonna copy Kid Leroy. You know what I mean? I think I just had it was an emotional piano beat, and I have some similar tone and maybe flows sometimes. But like I say, as I'm kind of maturing myself as an artist, I think I'm going more towards the pop lane, and I don't think that's gonna happen as much. I think my tone is similar no matter what, and I can't change that. But this new music is definitely just a lot more deep pop music. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. And go ahead. You're gonna say something.
Yeah, I was gonna say I also when I was younger got really compared to Shawn Mendes voice wise. And like sometimes my voice, I think it's more if you hear me live, but my voice has a similar tone sometimes to Shawn as well, which is crazy because of what happened, right? Like
Yeah.
before. But yeah, definitely for the most part, from dancing to Leroy I've been compared to, yeah.
Those aren't bad compliments. Shawn
No, they're
Mendes, Kid
not.
Leroy,
Not
both
at all. I can't
phenomenal artists. But I truly believe that you are a separate identity to your own
yeah,
self. You have your own trademark. Really.
definitely. I
Um,
appreciate
yeah, no problem. Moving on to the next subject. I brought up Luya a couple times, and I
it.
think we should touch on him right now. So you've obviously worked with him. He's a friend of this podcast and myself. How's
Yeah.
it been getting to know him, and how do you guys get in touch, and how's it been just working with him and creating tracks?
So we got in touch about uh, a little over a year ago now. I was working with new management, and Luya was producing a lot, right? So um, I actually had an acapella and Luya made a beat over it, and we were just talking over Discord really. Um, and this was before like all the moments and everything. So really, it was just like really genuine and like so we made the beat and we were Discord calls a few times, and then he started calling me because he was working with other artists. So I was thinking like we could collab because he was trying to grow some artists. And I was trying to grow. So we were just gonna kind of grow together. And then he had the moment and everything and had the first show with House of Independence. So we reached out and we were like, hey man, could I come down and play on that? And he said yeah, and he let me stay at his house. And since then they've just honestly been like super genuine and they've helped me out a lot. Ilya and his whole team there. So I'm very, very grateful for those guys.
Yeah, you guys have been great working with each other. I mean, Trust Issues is a track I think one of my favorites that you guys have come
Thank
out
you.
with. Such a
Yeah.
fucking great track. It's
That
such a
track
good.
came together like super fast. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Um, that was
How
our
how
first
how
time ever.
quick? How quick?
I think like probably like 4 hours. It was pretty crazy.
No
Like he made the
way.
beat and everything. Louis is a goat at producing and everything. He can really do it all. He's a weapon. Um, and so it was my first time ever locking in with him. We just did the first show there, and I wanted to lock in with him before I leave. I didn't even know if he'd be on the song. I just kind of wanted to work with him and see how he works. So he started making the beat. He laid down the guitar and the beat, and then I just started writing while he was doing it. And then I think by the time he had like most of the beat, I laid down the verse and the hook, and then we listened to it back, and he was like, "Yo, I'll hop on it." So I was like, "Let's do it. Let's run it." He laid down his verse. Actually, no, sorry. At this point, it was like once I had everything, he said he would hop on it, but it was like 3 or 4 in the morning. So we were like, "Yo, let's pass out." And then in the morning, he laid his verse, and then that was pretty well it. We finished it. So,
Dude,
but it was pretty fast. Yeah,
that's extremely quick, and you know you have talent if you could work up a song in 4 hours that could be on the radio already. It's
yeah, for
that
sure.
good.
I
You,
appreciate it.
yeah, man. So you know, another thing I want to bring up too. I think a lot of people would love to know this is what artists would you like to work with in the future? I believe that you will be to the top. You will get to the top. Luya will too. I put all
Sure.
my chips in on that one. What artists do you manifest and see yourself being featured on with tracks and just to work with in general?
Definitely Bieber one day would be crazy. And Shawn. But I'm trying to think like some that aren't quite. Um, I don't know. Those two at the moment definitely would be like the biggest goals. Also, Ruel. Ruel is amazing. Um, yeah, I'd say those three are definitely my biggest goals. Um, but I definitely want to collab with a lot of people just on the way up and try to get as much tracks in as possible. So,
I
but
love that, man. I could see that happening. I think JB could definitely use you on the track. No
JB
doubt.
would be sick. That'd be amazing.
The Canadian boys mixing up a track. I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Um, I got to bring up something as well, and that's you just sold out a show at Luya again out in Jersey. It just happened, and second time in a row, second show in the hometown of Lou's. How was that? How was that experience just recently with them?
It was really good, bro. It's amazing. Every time you do a show out of your hometown, you definitely have to win over the crowd. But I'd say after the first song, we kind of started to win them over, and the reactions the rest of my set was amazing. And performance-wise, I felt really comfortable as well. So because you will have your off days, but it was a good night. So yeah, the whole turnout was amazing, and I'm very grateful for them to give me that opportunity again. So.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's just gonna keep getting better. Do you have any music new? You said a new songs that have come out that's one of your favorites now. Any albums? Tracks. What's ahead for Coobie?
I don't have an album yet. I want to. That's kind of why I'm working on like trying to build as much Toronto people to work with in Toronto as possible because I am 3 hours away. But if I can go down there and stay, stay there and just work, that'd be ideal because I do as of right now, like I can record here in my room, but they're normally rough demos. So I've been going to Jersey and I'm working with those guys to finish tracks. And I love going down there, but it's a lot to have to go back and forth every time. Um, so right now I just have a lot of music that is kind of more demos, and I'm trying to get it all put together. But um, hopefully very soon I can get an album or something like that. That's definitely in my goals for this year. I want to make a whole album and have it done. Whether it drops this year, that hopefully, but if it doesn't, at least have one done. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no doubt, and you'll have no problem doing that. Just keep posting those tracks, and I'm sure you'll get even more noticed by people.
yeah,
Maybe Champagne Poppy down the road will be like, "Hey, come in, let's talk."
yes,
You
sir.
know, right? Drake just knocking on your door. Um, so are you? I didn't ask, but are you an independent artist as well?
Yeah, I am. Yep.
How's that road been? You know, it's different being on your own, trying to do what you love. You know, how is it being an independent artist? What are the pros and cons, you'd say?
The pros are, I guess, you can kind of drop whenever you want. You can really do whatever you want. But to be honest with you, I'd say I am looking. I want to sign a deal, and I have talked to some like labels and stuff, but um, I just need the right deal. And the independent is amazing, but you need the connections nowadays. You really do, and the labels have that. Um, but like I said, I'm not gonna sign to something till I can build myself up big enough where it's actually worth it to me, and I can have some control in the deal there. So right now, though, it's just a grind. That's it. It's just wake up, grind, get it out there, and repeat. So yeah,
Exactly. Keep pushing, and it has to be the fair deal that's in it. You
yeah,
know, because
exactly.
some of these people will take advantage, but some people will be fair. And I think
Yeah,
it does help you climb even higher when you have someone like record label that comes in and pushes you out to get you recognized.
definitely.
I know you're a guy that manifests your dream every day, and you know, I really believe that you'll get to where you want to be. I really
Thank
do.
you.
You're a good kid. You're
I
also, and
appreciate
that means even more to me. But
it.
you know, you're manifesting every day. Where would you like to take your journey moving forward? Where do you see yourself in years to come with all the music that you're doing and what you love?
I'd say by next year, I want to win a Juno for sure. That's the goal. Once we can, I feel like get a Juno and really like move up in Canada, then obviously it'd be to start doing a tour outside of Canada. But my goal for the end of this year is to kind of just get everything settled, with an album and all that, and just make the best music possible while keep growing my socials. And then hopefully once, like I believe this next song could be the radio hit, and I really do believe that. So if we can get that on the radio, and I can grow to the level I need to get, then the Juno seems pretty possible to me. So yeah, I'd say the Juno and the tour is my two biggest goals right now. But we definitely want to go all the way to the top. So
I love that, man. I feel the same about the podcast, and I think that you will. Just keep fucking going, right? And I think it just takes one good one will go viral, and next thing you know, you're performing at Madison Square Garden, and we're just gonna go back to this interview and be like, hey, what did we say? We
yes,
called
sir.
it. That's right. I believe in you, man. Okay.
Thank you, bro.
Well, I appreciate you for hopping on. You know, it means a lot. We've been trying to do this for a while. I feel like,
We
you know,
have, yeah.
and we made
Yeah.
it happen. So make sure. When are you gonna come out to Cali? I gotta ask.
Hopefully soon, bro. I definitely want to come back out there again. I went out the first time there, but yeah, to play with Louis at the LA show, and
Yeah.
it's beautiful, man. I loved it. We were staying in Topanga though, and I wouldn't do that again. It was beautiful, but the drive is crazy. Like it's really not worth it. You got to drive up and
Yeah.
down like this mountain every time. But hopefully soon. Hopefully very soon. Maybe this year. I'll definitely let you know, bro.
Let me know. LA's traffic sucks. and that's why I don't
Yeah,
live there.
it does.
But
Yeah,
it's a place to be for music and all the stuff you want to do. But yeah, let me know. Would love to show you around. I'll show you the best spots down here in Orange County and other places, man.
for sure.
Be
Sounds
fun.
good.
But thanks for hopping on and have fun at rehearsal in an hour from now.
For sure. I appreciate it, bro.
I
It was
appreciate
nice.
you, brother. Let's stay in touch.
All right, take it easy.
Much love, brother. Bye bye.
Much love.